Mix FM. Mix FM.
Okay, wow. I still cannot believe it. You know that I have Fredwreck
that we're back on Mix FM. You can't believe it.
Yeah, no, back on Mix FM.
We're
is
back
okay.
on Mix FM,
but not every day. A legendary producer steps in the studio. Someone who's worked with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Cypress Hill, and Britney Spears, right? I remember, you know, Fred, I remember the first time I interviewed you, okay? I was so nervous, it's crazy. Big up to Jeddah Legend at the time. I didn't know what to, I was so nervous. And, you know, back then, like...
Good, because I was too, and I don't never know what to say. I hate doing interviews, man. I hate being on camera. Get that camera out of my face.
Yeah, man. I think, you haven't done a lot of interviews. That's something as well, you know, I mean, a video interview, no?
No, I don't like to do it.
Why not? People love you, man. Like you.
I don't even like doing hip hop now. I mean, like... I like to be in the studio. That's my thing. You know, I like to be behind the boards. I like to be behind the scenes. But I also like to share my experiences. But I don't like to be doing interviews. So it's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. Crazy.
Maybe I'll just write a book or something.
Yeah.
And then I can let everybody know the story.
Would you write a book?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'd write a book. But my story is not done. I feel like I haven't even done anything yet. So.
Yeah. Shout out to all the people, of course, sending in.
Shout out to all the Jeddah people. What's up, Jeddah?
Yeah, a lot of people.
Jeddah ghair.
Akid, Al-Sharif Hassan. Al-Sharif Hassan is actually asking you, ask Fredwreck about his favorite beat he produced.
My favorite beat I produced, I haven't produced yet.
Ooh.
Yeah, I still haven't.
Not yet.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
I haven't had a favorite yet.
Dex Art, who's one of the most amazing football freestylers, is asking, what is the top practical advices for a beginning producer, and why do you think trap is popular more than boom bap?
Producers, if you want to be a producer, you have to learn everything about music. You have to learn how to engineer, learn your chords, you learn your scales, learn music theory, learn your equipment, and go and make 10,000 beats.
Whoa.
I mean, just keep making stuff.
Keep making beats.
I mean, there's nothing I can really tell you besides that. You have to it has to come from within you. Just keep practicing and keep doing it every day. I mean, that's how I did it. And when I was making music, there was nobody to teach us. Yeah. There was no YouTube. There was nothing. It was like you just had to be creative on your own and experiment. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now you have YouTube. You can learn to do anything. And so your process is going to be much faster, but you just have to love it. That's it. You just have to love everything. Everything that I've ever done is done out of love. And I love doing it. So.
It's like basketball. You know, they tell you got to shoot a certain number of hoops in order to get it. Like, you know,
there's a master theory that they tell you to be good at something. You got to put like 10,000 hours in to do it. And I believe that because I still do it, but I don't feel like I'm that good at it still. No matter what I've done.
MashaAllah. Wow.
But I still want.
You still have that feeling?
Yeah, of course, because I like to learn, and the thing about working with Dr. Dre is there's all these great musicians around. Because Dr. Dre doesn't play. I mean, he plays piano really good, but he doesn't play on his tracks. You know, he's the producer that'll tell you what's good. Wow. And there's all these great musicians around, and those musicians, like when you see a guy that plays keyboards or guitar better than you, you're like, wow, hey, come here, show me that. Like, I want to learn that. Like, I'm still a sponge to absorb.
MashaAllah.
You know,
after all these years, you're saying that. It's just important for me that you
never
say
stop.
that.
You never
That's
stop
Fredwreck.
learning. You never stop learning. No,
Wow.
I mean, there's always new kids that come that are 18 years old, and he's on the piano going, and I'm like, whoa. You got to show me how to do that.
Wow.
Of course.
Man,
the second you stop learning is like you're over, it's done.
Yeah. Second part of the question, why do you think trap is more popular than boom bap?
I have no idea, man. It's people like what they like.
Is it first more popular? You agree with that?
I don't know if it's more popular. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, if he says so. I mean, country's more popular than trap. Ask people why they like country more than trap.
Really?
Country?
Of
course. Country music's the biggest music in the world.
Yeah. What do you think of country music?
I like some of it. I like Johnny Cash.
Yeah, Johnny Cash.
I like
Johnny
Willie
Cash.
Nelson.
Yeah.
You know, I like some country. I don't listen to it all the time, but you know, it's great music. They tell stories.
Yes.
That's why it's great. Hip hop tells stories. So, you know.
Man. Fred, as a legendary producer, how do you choose who to work with, and what is it about the artist that attracts Fred? I'm not talking about, of course, you have a lot of people reaching out to you. I'm talking about sometimes, you know, how do you choose those artists? What attracts Fred in a rapper?
Most of the artists that I work with, I have a personal relationship with. So I think that I have to have a personal relationship with you, because to produce somebody is not so much I'll take that back. To produce somebody, you have to be able to critique them and tell them what they're doing wrong more than what they're doing right.
You have that open relation.
So for me to tell your artist, nah, that's not right, and I don't have a personal relationship with them, they might take it offensively instead of taking it as, okay, I'm going to do this better. And I have to be able to take the same criticism for an artist to tell me, hey, I don't like that beat. I don't like this part of the music. I want the chords to change. So you have to have a personal relationship. So usually when I'm like contracted to work with an artist, I go meet with them first. We have a session or we do something outside of the studio so I can get to know them a little bit. And then we have like one session where I play music. I play stuff they like, they play stuff they like, and we kind of just get to know each other musically like that. Because if you don't, then I don't think that you can really go in there and get the best out of the artist, because that's my job. My job is to get the best performance out of that artist.
Yeah, you said it better, because you know Michael Jordan, one of the greatest players who ever played the game, he makes other people better, and that's what I think. Sometimes as a producer, if you put you put that, Right. How can you do that? Like, seriously, let's get into that a little bit. How can you bring out the best out of somebody throughout a beat?
Throughout a beat?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you want them to express themselves, so you kind of, sometimes you have to just sit back and let them do what they're gonna do. Some artists need a little bit more of a pull. Some artists, they got it together, and and you're just there for the ride to make sure that everything's put together. And it's just different. It's just a different scenario with different artists, and at different times. Like some days I'll work with Snoop, and he'll need a little bit more of a push that day for me to tell him, "Nah, do it like this, do it like that." And he's in there crying. He doesn't want to. Nah, it sounds good, cuz. I'm like, "No, man, we got to do it like this."
Yeah.
And then other days he goes in there and he knocks it out. He's like, and he looks at me like, "You don't want me to do it over?" I'm like, "Nah, it's cool how it is." Man, are you sure you don't want me to do it over? I'm like, nah, it's good.
Wow.
So it just depends. But you got to have a relationship with people, and you got to know how to be a people person. There are some producers that I've seen work with artists, and they're like Phil Spector, like where they're coming in the studio waving guns in the air and stuff, and they're like yelling at the artist, making them cry.
Man, wait,
and I'm like,
a huge applause on that. Because I've seen that. I've seen that. Like,
so that doesn't work with me. You got to be a people person. You know, number one, and one thing Dre always tells us is, your ego is not your amigo. So put your
ego is not your amigo.
Yeah, put your ego aside and just, you got to take control of the situation. You're the leader. You're the band leader in that situation. So you have to know how to deal with people.
Yeah, man, I hope some, of course, young producers and rappers and, humans are listening to this, of course. Fred, I'm sure working with legends like, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg has like challenges. Can you tell us about some of these challenges?
I mean, there's always challenges. The challenge is you want to do the best work that you can and bring out the best of them, and that's all you can do, man. You can't put too much pressure on yourself. I mean, there is a lot of pressure in it, but you just have to do the best you can. And as long as you're doing the best you can and giving it 110%, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. I know you're a film buff.
Yeah,
you love film.
Love it.
But have you ever scored a film?
Yeah, I've scored some films.
Okay. Can we find them like online?
Yeah, I mean, I worked on Dangerous Minds. I worked on
Dangerous Minds.
Yeah, Seeds of Chucky. The little Chucky, he's going around killing people. I worked. Yeah, I can't even think of all of them right now.
Like,
I worked on the first Fast and the Furious.
No way.
I worked on Miami Vice. I worked on a few. Yeah.
Mashallah. Would you like to score
I would. I'm talking. Actually, I'm scoring a movie for a Western movie that Ahmed Fishawi's doing in Egypt.
Nice.
And it's like a Western movie because I like Western movies, like the good, the bad, and the ugly, and things like that. So I take the ones that I like. I want to do because scoring is like it's a lot of work.
It is.
I mean, they'll give you like a 10-second piece to score, and the director will be like, he'll have you do it 100 times. And I don't have the patience for that.
Wow.
I'm like, yo, this is what I think should be it. But you gotta be able to work with them. And if it's not a director that I work well with, then I just leave it. I'll just leave it alone.
You've seen, of course, Straight Outta Compton. What do you think of that? Amazing documentary.
I think everybody should see it. It's a great story, a musical story. I mean, it shows people that came from nothing and what they created. They created a whole genre of music. And Eazy-E, none of this. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for Eazy-E.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. That's I think that's they're having so much success, man. Mashallah. Like the film is,
It's great success, and they got to tell their own story. Hollywood didn't tell it. They told their own story. Dr. Dre, Snoop. Not Snoop. Dr. Dre, Eazy, Ice Cube, MC Ren, and DJ Yella. And I'm happy and I'm honored to be a part of that. That whole genre of people that came out of that NWA school.
Yeah. This beat actually is by one of our local producers, Bugsy.
Oh, Bugsy's my guy, Bugsy.
Yeah, man. He's Bugsy. Mashallah, doing great things as well, Bugsy, man.
Bugsy's very talented, man.
Yeah, I like his. I love when Arab, especially producers, start sampling. Especially with for me. Speaking about coming from an Arab background, Fred, how did your family perceive the unconventional, to the typical Arab, society, your career path?
Oh, they hated it. Are you crazy?
I mean, yeah, man. صح أكيد بس man, shout out to of course.
Nah, it was hard, my dad is like, روح كون محامي ولا دكتور. Music is just for fun, and I just wanted to do what I did.
Yeah.
And, they supported me, but they encouraged me to do other things. I'll say that. They supported me 100%. But my mom will always encourage me.
Mashallah. How do they feel now?
Go to school, go to, be a doctor, do something. I just didn't do that.
Yeah. No, I mean, a lot of people are listening now. They're in school, they're in college, they're studying, but maybe some of them, they love hip hop or they love production or they love music. Sadly, in the Arab world, it's like you said, it's like stereotyping. I want you to be an engineer, a doctor. What do you tell them? Like, how can they, from your experience, shall they go against, their parents and with their will and do it? And
no, don't go against your parents, man. Get your ass to go to school. Because honestly, it's a very tough thing. And luckily, I lived in a place where it's actually an industry.
It's good advice.
So it's different. Out here, it's not an industry. If you want to do it, just know you're doing it for fun. And do it because you love it. I mean, I always did it because I love it. It just so happened that I got to make lots of money doing it. But I was lucky because I lived in a place where it was an industry. Out here, it's not an industry. You know what I mean? So do it because you love to do it, and always have something else that you're passionate about too.
Yeah, a backup
with doing it. I hate to say backup because this is not something that I don't think I would have been successful at it if I did it as a backup. I did it because that's all I knew how to do. That's all I wanted to do every day, and that's I think one of the reasons why I was successful at it. But it's harder. It's hard out here. But just do it because you love it. You know what I mean?
But it's a blessing that you do what you love and you get, earn from it. It's a huge blessing.
Yeah, but I could have I like computers, you know what I mean? I grew up when computers started, so I always liked working with computers, so I could have loved doing computers too. And if I would have grew up and started programming computers, I probably could have made Facebook or something too.
Mark.
Yeah, but computers is part of what I do now, so I still get to use computers and I get to do music. So I kind of had both things, If music didn't work out for me, I probably would be doing something with computers.
MashaAllah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Fredwreck. صراحة on the air, Mo, I don't know how much you have. Like, we guys cool? Like, we got time?
Yeah, you better take advantage while I'm here.
I know,
man.
I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you, man. The show is till 12, so yeah, maybe. Ladies and gentlemen, hit us up on Twitter, big_Hus, for any questions. I'll be asking any questions. You guys send to me on على طول. Abdullah Al-Fredi, who's a host here at Mix FM Riyadh, is saying it's an inspiring interview. So shout out to him.
Thank you, Abdullah.
Abdullah Turki, it's an honor to listen to you on Mix FM. Fred, Abdullah Turki.
Thank you, Abdullah.
Yeah. So mashallah, we're going to go for a short break and we'll be right back to speak about something very important. Politics and music. Let's talk about that. Yes.
All right.